All right, guys, welcome back to another 3-star My Bag. This episode is going to be featuring the bag of DGV player Vroom. I got to admit, this is probably the most difficult one that I've done so far. Not so much because his bag isn't great, but because he asked me to do Maple Hill Gold and not just 3-star, but 18 under. Something he's working on. It's actually something I haven't done yet with my own bag, so it's going to be challenging. I think I've only done it like once all the way through and challenged the world with my own bag. It's just not something that I've grinded yet. Obviously, I've played all the holes several times in multiplayer and prepared for them for events and whatnot, but just haven't grinded, challenged the world, so I don't have it yet. But we'll see if we can get it done with his bag. Sorry it's taken me so long to get to this one, but we'll see how we do. Once I looked at his bag, there was a few things that I noticed right off the bat, so we'll talk a little bit about that once we pop up the bags here. All right, so here we go, his bag on top and then my copy on the bottom. So I think one of the first things I look at when someone sends me a bag is what my throw-in disc is going to be. And there's a kind of a glaring issue right off the bat, which I reached out to him about. He has the spike in there, which I've heard a lot of good things about, so I was excited to try it, but he has the glide sticky. And I told him, hey, I'm going to throw the accurate glide in there just because you want an accurate disc for your throw-in. So something that was pretty glaring off the bat, but fixed it right away. And I didn't want to throw without an accurate throw-in disc, so that's kind of the one change I made before I even started playing. So I have the accurate glide stick spike and the harp. And I'm actually a huge fan of that spike. I might even try it out in my own bag. But as far as mid-range, he's got the Claymore and the Warship. Obviously, I love the Warship, very familiar with it. Claymore, my best description is that it's kind of in between a Fuse and a Warship as far as distance and stability. So we'll see if I throw that on a few holes. Fairways, he's got the Explorer, the Windbreak Explorer, and then the Roll Musket. So I'm familiar with both those. I've never bagged a musket. Obviously, I love the Explorer, but I'm more familiar with the Roll than the Windbreak. And then going into the rest of his fairways, he's got the PD, which I love. He's got the Water Skip Sapphire, which is an awesome disc I wish I had space for. And then the Glide Sapphire. As far as his drivers, he's got the Windbreak Glide Ride, which is a great disc, but a lot of people have replaced that with the Water Skip. His Water Skip is the Ballista Pro, so great disc, but not quite as long as I'd recommend having a Water Skip. If you can get a Rive or a Gold or something a little longer, that would be ideal for some of those longer holes. Maple Hill, you're not going to really need a Water Skip, so it won't really come into play, but I might throw it. He's got the Glide Skip Strive, which I love. I wish I could bag that and the Glide Skip Rive. And then the Light Glide Rive, and then the Windbreak Glide Paradigm, which I don't have one, so I went ahead and put a Captain in there, but pretty similar discs. So there you go. There's his bag. Some other recommendations, like I mentioned, probably get a better Water Skip driver, and then you can do away with the Windbreak Rive. As far as the fairways go, I think it's awesome to have a roll fairway. I guess he has the musket, so that kind of fills that spot. I just love my Roll Sapphire so much. But combining that Windbreak Rive and Water Skip disc, that should free up a spot. You can do like a Flippy Skippy, Paradigm, Captain, Enigma, one of those. That helps a lot of players. And then maybe consider changing out the Windbreak Paradigm to the Light Glide Paradigm. A lot of people, that feels kind of a light glide roll and the turn glide roll, and then you can maybe free up another spot with that Light Glide Rive. But I love my Light Glide Rive, so I'll never do away with it, but that works for a lot of players. And then the only other disc, if you did free up another spot, that I would recommend is a Skip Fairway, like a big Skip Fairway, just for a lot of ace runs. A Skip Sapphire, a Skip Grace, a Skip Sampo, one of those three is always an awesome addition to a bag that can give your bag a lot of versatility and give yourself a lot of chances for some ace runs. But there you go. Those are my 2 cents on his bag. Now let's get into the round. All right, as you can see, my best I've done is 16 under, and I've actually done it with his bag twice. Definitely wasn't first go on this one. This is going to be my third go on this to try to get that 18 under. So we'll see how we do. You definitely, if you're going to grind, and what I decided, I want that extra stroke, so I wanted to get the eagle on this first hole. So if you get a big win like this, aim to the left and do like a big anhyzer. And then if you can somehow either land before the trees or fly over the trees, you got a great shot at skipping up here and giving yourself a look at eagle. And I happen to get an awesome drive here. This is kind of pre-recorded. I'm just adding the audio to this shot. But there you go. There's the eagle. Now we're going to move on to the second hole. If you can start off with eagle on that first hole, it's a tough one to get, but it definitely gives you some cushion going into the rest of the holes. The second hole, lots of different options here. I decided not to even try to run it in this wind, so I'm going to throw the water skip sapphire. Usually like a glide sapphire on a backhand, but if I can throw it right into this bank, that kind of faded too much. Usually you can hit that bank and either pop over the wall or be right next to the wall. And here's that spike. Very straight disc. I'm loving it. Very similar distance to the pure, so it wasn't a real hard transition for me. Just flies a little bit straighter, and it's actually longer than the pure from what I can tell for throw-ins, so you can cover a little more distance with it. This hole is one of the tougher ones. With this wind, with the calm wind, I feel like a forehand captain is the way to go in his bag, but with this wind, I'm going to do my line. I usually throw the skip sapphire. We're going to throw the water skip ballista pro. Let the wind kind of turn it over. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. Somehow we went through that tree there. Didn't want to turn it over that much, but that worked out well. 45 feet, we got a putt. I'm going to aim up a little bit with my putt. Oh, ooh, I almost blew that. So a couple good breaks there on that hole to get the birdie. Again, a couple different lines that I throw on that depending on the wind. This one, so I usually throw the Svea on a forehand for my ace run, but he doesn't have that. He doesn't have a fuse, so I figured out a nice line for the spike. So same kind of height. That's my normal aim point right there. But I'm going to slide over since I'm throwing backhand now because a forehand spike doesn't get there. Aim next to that tree and do about a disc of anhyzer. And let's see if we can drop one in. But this is a great ace line. Get in there. Oh, don't. Okay. See, as long as you don't hit the basket, you're going to be safe. The danger is hitting the basket and bouncing over the water, over into the water, but it's a great ace run. I throw that line, similar line with the forehand Svea, but with that spike, it works on a backhand. So another chance to get an extra stroke there that you might need later on if you can get that ace. This one, so I usually throw glide roll rive, probably more disc than a lot of players throw, but this glide windbreak should be the exact same throw. So there's my aim point. I'm going to slide left because of the wind, and then a straight down pull and just let the wind take it. That's going to be short. Got an ace several times on that hole with my glide roll rive. I like throwing the roll rive. Oh, that's the other disc he doesn't have in his bag. I forgot to mention. Let me make sure I make this before I talk about it. So yeah, he doesn't have a roll driver, which is pretty much a must. Like, you got to learn rollers. You got to be able to throw rollers, and then it's just a nice disc to have to stop, since that roll feature stops it on the ground. So free up a spot and add a roll driver. Glide roll rive is probably one of the best out there. All right, we're going to throw the PD. I usually throw sapphire here, but because of this big tailwind, and then I don't have to worry too much about putting some hyzer on it because you want it to hyzer around this corner. So that worked out well. But in a calm wind, I'll usually throw sapphire, glide sapphire, and put some hyzer on it just to make sure it makes it around that corner. But with that wind, the PD was perfect. Hole 7, this is a sapphire. This is a tough wind, man, because you don't want it to go too far left, but you don't want to turn it over too much in these trees. We'll see if we can get it just right. Glide sapphire. Oh, we did it just right. Usually you're going to get up a little farther than that, though. That was a tough wind. Probably the toughest wind on that hole, I think. Here goes the spike with the big right to left, so I'm going to aim off to the right a little bit. Not near as much as I do with my pure, because it flies straighter than the pure or the link. This hole, I go default aim, whether it's diamond or gold. With diamond, I'll throw a roll sapphire. With gold, I'll throw a roll rive. Default aim. So I'm going to throw that windbreak again, since it's the same line. And then with this wind, almost a straight pull, we're going to put a little anhyzer, and then I'm going to power down just a hair to where the bottom of the disc kind of goes to that bottom of the last Wi-Fi symbol. Oh, and it's usually a safe bid because it starts to hyzer out at the end, so you don't have to worry about going long OB straight past the basket. But every once in a while you get that one to drop in. Obviously it's a lot harder on the gold. Love that spike, man. A lot harder in the gold layout than the diamond, but still you'll get it every once in a while. All right, this is one of the holes I like to have that extra stroke on. I go light glide drive, slide to the right from default, don't change it at all. And then we'll put a disc of Annie on this. Oh, I needed a little bit more anhyzer. Shoot, get through there. So we got kind of lucky there. But that was not the gap I was trying to hit. But just practice that with that default slide to the right light glide, and you can usually get a pretty good shot up the gap and then have a good chance at birdie. I'm not sure what to throw here. I'm going to go Warship and just power it down a little bit. I don't know if the harp would make it far enough. I think it would, but I want it to slide a little more too down the hill. So we're going to power this down a little bit. Just try to get it right. Oh shoot, way too hard. Stop. Hit the tree. Oh, we got lucky. So we're able to hit the tree there. Hopefully save this one. We got a nice one wind, so we should be able to throw this sucker in with the spike. Got it to go. So 10 under after 9. I mean, that's a solid front 9 there. I like my chances. Let's see if we can keep this going. This one, I like to throw light glide. I don't like to throw my skip driver just because I don't want to go too far and end up next to the barrier. Then you're stuck not being able to make your birdie. So it's going to end up a little shorter since it doesn't have the skip, but you should get up there far enough to where it's not the most difficult throw in. Usually I can get up there a little farther than this one, but we're 70 feet. This is a tough shot still, but it's uphill, a little bit of headwind. Get in. No, gosh. Man, if I don't do it now because of one shot, that's going to be killer right there, that spit out. That is not even one of the most difficult holes, and I screwed it up. Let's see if we can maybe get that stroke back on one of these possible eagles. This wind, I mean, if I can get a good drive, usually I'll go aim point here with the glide skip drive and a disc of anhyzer, but I'm going to throw more straight down with the strive. That tailwind just made it way more stable. Dang, that would have been a great chance at eagle if I could have got a good drive there. But we're just going to throw this up. I'm going to throw the musket, just kind of throw it up into the trees a little bit. It might slow it down, but power it down just a hair. Go in. Oh, that would have been sweet. Nice little bid there with the musket. Again, not a disc bag or I'm super familiar with, but I've thrown it enough in events and stuff that I can play pretty decent with it. I miss my Vandal in this bag, my straight flying fairway, but my musket kind of feels that role in his bag, just not quite as straight as the Vandal is. This one I like to go forehand just because I don't want to deal with those trees on the right. Sometimes you get stuck if you throw backhand trying to get over them, or you hyzer out too soon and end up way down to the left. So I prefer the forehand here. Give me a skip. Oh man, that was on a great line too. Had that gotten a skip, I could have got down there probably. You never know what it's going to do on that downhill. Sometimes it'll roll down there and give you a look at eagle, but I'm just trying to throw this down there for with the harp. Little utility disc. Definitely like his putter setup with the spike and harp. Have something straight that you throw in with, whether it be your putter or a fuse or Sphea, and then have your utility putter in the bag as well, like a harp or slammer or something that's got some stability to it. All right, hole 13. We're still on schedule for this one. I like to go Vandal, but we're going to go with the musket. Probably a little too much disc, but I'm kind of counting on it hitting something down there and slowing it down a little bit. You can go backhand or forehand here, just whatever you prefer. I like to go backhand in this wind. Stop. Oh, nice. Just what I hoped it would just stop there. So we get an easy birdie on 13. 13 down after 13. Come on, let's get this done. 14. This is the one over the water, I believe. Yep. So I think I'm going to go with this Ballista Pro water skip. I think it'll be about the right distance in this wind. I'll usually throw glide roll, but it's probably a little too much disc, and he doesn't have that, so we're going to throw this. It's probably a little shorter. Turn. Dang. Not a bad line. At least that's what you want to do, is you want to have a good line, you got a nice run at it, but you're going to hit the barriers back here if you miss. Got that birdie. 4 holes to go. Starting to get nervous that I might mess this up. We got some tough holes ahead. This one, another one that I love my Vandal on, so we're going to try that musket. See if we can judge this right. Got a right or left to right 2 wind. I'm going to slide right a little bit. Go about right there. Put some ante on it. Oh, okay. I think we got away with one there. I put a little too much anhyzer on that and clipped that tree. But we got away with the mistake there. Still got the birdie. 3 holes to go. This is one of the holes I was worried about. I usually go turn glide here. I'm going to go captain. Just because it's you want to go with your straightest flying distance driver here. I need to try. I don't think the Sapphire makes it through. It'd be nice to throw an accurate disc, but I need to play around with this hole because sometimes I make it through with ease, and other times I really struggle to hit the gap. And no, I turned that over way too much. Oh, it almost made it through. Oh, I hate the captain. I wish it was a Paradigm. I'm better with the Paradigm than I am the captain. All right, we got to save this. 121. Come on, Spike. Got a left to right. Spike is pretty straight. I'd still aim to the right with the pure, but with this one, I think we're good with this line. Get in there. Nice. Whew. I was sweating that one. So we're able to save birdie there. 2 more holes. Maybe even we can get an eagle here if we can get a good drive. Oh, not the best wind. The concern here is having enough carry to clear all the trees. I'd like to go forehand glide skip strive, but I just worry about clearing. This is light glide. Let's switch over to the captain just to keep this a little straighter. Should have enough distance on a backhand. Oh man, where's the turn now? See, the captain for me is just so inconsistent. I just suck with it. I thought that was going to turn a lot more than it did. No chance at eagle here. Let's just throw the warship. Count on the fade towards the end to put me through that gap, and I'm just going to power down a little bit. Fade, fade, fade. Ooh, luckily it hit that tree because that was going out of bounds. Another kind of lucky break. 51 feet. All right, 1 more hole to go. 17 under after 17. Can we get it done? Of course, it's one of the toughest holes. See what the wind's doing. Ooh, we got a nice huge wind. Doesn't help towards the end, but definitely helps off the tee here. We're going to go forehand with the strive. Just do a big flex shot here. Pretty, there's a lot of space out to the left to turn it, and then it'll fade back and skip back towards the fairway. So, oh, this looks good. Nice. Now this distance right here is always hard to judge. I got 300 to the basket. I think I'm just going to lay it up. Don't want to risk hitting something up there. I'm just not great at this shot yet. So we're going to just throw the spike full power with the forehand. We got some wind behind us. No. Gosh, man, I thought that was going to be 20 feet farther. This comes down to 127 feet for the 18 under. Big, oh, that wind. I'm not sure how to judge this. Shoot. All right, I don't feel great about this. We're going to go with right there. 127. No, short and left. Dang, I'm going to use this round still. It's not 18 under, but it is 3 star, so I did 3 star as bag, but I'm sorry, man. Wasn't able to get the 18 under. So close. That spit out on 10 really hurt me. I would have got it if I would have just got birdie on 10. Oh, man. That's frustrating. But either way, a fun bag. Hopefully those recommendations help, and some of those lines help you get that 18 under. Definitely takes some grinding to get that gold 18 under. But there you go, guys. There's the next 3 star my bag layout. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want, I still have some people lined up, so it might take me a while to get to you, but if you have any interest, leave me a comment and we'll get together and set up when I can do your bag next. As always, guys, thanks for the support and thanks for watching me play some DGV.